I have a confession. I have purchased a house in Las Vegas so that I have an out from Los Angeles and this life. Aww. Hello, I'm Sybil Sullivan. I'm an esthetician and spa owner.
And hi, I'm Alex Ellis. I'm a body nerd and wellness expert, and we are business besties.
And bosses, running your business, it's hard.
But we're terrible employees, so we're figuring it out.
I've already figured it out, but we promise to share everything we know about making a six-figure income.
And be brutally honest about what works and what totally sucks.
I'll be honest with you. A bunch of it totally sucks, but let's get started.
Yes, it does. Welcome back to Skinfessional. On today's show, we're talking about the post-COVID, not even, it's like in the middle COVID, new normal, which hashtag new normal makes me want to scratch.
I'm going to say the new normal as it's evolving.
For sure. From cleaning, client procedures, changing your menu, all of that stuff, and how to really rethink your business and budgeting in this new normal. I hope you turn this into a drinking game. Every time I say that, please do take a shot of kombucha or booze. I don't know. I hate saying that too. I'm sorry.
I know. Every time we've used it in an episode, she's like, I don't want to talk about that. Let's not use that. I'm like, well, find another word for it. We got to rebrand it, but I got nothing for that.
I got nothing. It kind of is what it is. But
I know.
The thing too, it's like, I got a text message from a sweet, sweet lady from my church who's probably in her 80s. And she just said, I can't wait until things go back to normal. And I'm like, they're not going back to normal. That's real cute. And so I think that's part of the realization is like, it is what it is for today. Tomorrow might be something crazy different.
I know. This is life now. I guess we could just be like, this is life now. But it's life,
this current life.
Any esthetician on here who is part of the Facebook group Aesthetician Dumpster Fire on Facebook knows that I'm on there now a lot. I've always been a lurker, but now I'm on there pretty heavily because I think that that's pretty close to what it's been feeling like. It's definitely been feeling like a esthetician dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Our apparently new normal is
drink.
Everything's gone to hell, and you should just drink. And I don't know if we're ever coming back. And that's really what we're talking about in today's episode, I think, is, are you coming back? How are you coming back? And what is it going to take to make that decision? Because I've had a lot of conversations with people about that and about what the future holds. So Alex here has been doing awesome. Alex, I want to actually, because we've been following you and how your business has been going, and I want to start with something really super positive.
Yeah.
And Alex, how did your launch go? Which, by the way, went on during Black Lives Matter Rebellion. So how has it been going?
I have 12 new members, which is super exciting. So if you guys remember, the last launch I did was right at the start of the pandemic. That was fun. And then this launch, literally the whole world was protesting. And there was also some looting happening at the same time, unrelated. Still came through. So
yeah. And you couldn't really couldn't even talk about your launch very much. You couldn't really promote it very heavily on social. It was very quiet.
Yeah, I didn't at all. It felt wrong and weird to be marketing when people are currently in so much pain. But all of that is to say also, I was just looking at like my credit card processor, and they're like, oh, you have 100% increase over last quarter and 100% increase in, double the number of clients that you had last quarter. And, we were talking about this before we started recording. An online business, because I wasn't fully online. I had this online business and started to see that the hustle it took to get people or butts in seats, as one of my former bosses used to say, it just wasn't worth the dollars per hour. And with an online business, the money keeps coming in. We're also talking about budgeting and stuff. I know exactly how much money I'm going to make next month, give or take $60, but there's no, it's steady. And as a contractor and solopreneur, you know, teaching yoga, all of those things for pretty much my entire adult life, this is the first time where I've ever had that sort of like income security. And it's also kind of cool that like I'm in control of it 100%. So if you're feeling like you right now, it's like everything's kind of uncertain and you're not sure what's next and this and that, at least being online gives you some sense. And of course, it depends on like what your industry is and what's going on. And there's always ups and downs. But like it's my business. I'm in charge, and it's never been that way, you know?
I'm so incredibly proud. I have watched you build this thing up, and it's not like you've been like just like sitting on your laurels. Like you have launched and failed and launched and kind of limped and launched and been like, well, that went nowhere. And I tried this thing and that thing and the other thing, and I did some stuff and that didn't work out. And then you're like, hey, I'm all in with this. And I mean, I will say that for you, you've had some really big epiphanies and breakthroughs, you know?
Yeah.
I'm doing the work, guys. It matters. Doing the work really matters.
Yeah. I was say, just do what Amy Porterfield says. But I think, because this is something that we've been talking about too. So, I mean, actually, why don't you fill us in on the future of your spa business and by the future, I'm not asking for your 12-year view because I know how you get. I'm asking for like the next 3 months. What's up for C. Solon?
Right. So, my business is having some shrubs, and I've talked about it before here that, you know, my long-term plan, is, you know, eventually to think about moving away from this. I am looking at shutting down shop. That is what's going to be happening. And it did come with a lot of thought and angst and decision making. But it is looking like I am going to be shutting down my shop. And the reason why is because, like many of the people I've talked to as well out there, I do not see this industry surviving the way it is. And one of the hard things that decisions, you know, kind of have come to is I am concerned that I can't do my job to the degree that I'd like to do it and make the money that I can make that I made before. I work with high profile clients. I work in a community that deals with like the music and the entertainment industry. And right now they're not working. And during the writer's strike, I lost over 60% of my business. And that was just a writer strike. I think we have the writer strike coming. And for me, I also see that we're having a recession coming. And then we have the pandemic on top of it, which I think we're going to be back in our houses again, not working again. And all those things lead me to believe that going online is going to be the best answer for me because I've already been losing money in a shop that I can't work in. In fact, I just started working again. And it was a hard decision even to come back to do that. But I'm still paying rent. So right. I need to work a little bit longer.
Well, and even coming back to work, like it's not the same.
It's not the same. And I would tell anybody out there, and this is every esthetician who's called me and been like, because like I have mentees, guys. I've mentored people. People call me and ask me questions, and you know they pay for my time. And this is the thing. They're like, should I even go back? I'm like, well, that's a choice you have to make. But if you have a choice between not going back and going back, clean break.
Yeah.
Don't go back and then a month later be like, hey guys, leaving.
Yeah.
I know you love your clients, but I equate it to like going back and having like makeup sex and then like being like, well, now I gotta go again.
Yeah. I tried it on and actually this relationship is over.
Right? It's really hard for both of you. It's easier just to, you know, use COVID as a nice way to get out. Yeah. And be like, hey, I gotta go. Peace out. Now, if you really love your clients and you really want to see them, you know, have a going away party or do that one last hurrah. But understand that it hurts. I am having a lot of trouble coming in and seeing my clients and not telling them that I'm leaving. They want to book again, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not. Let's just see how it goes because I'm like, yeah, I might not be back here next month. You know, it's hard. It's really hard. I've had this business for a long time.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Well, and it's also, I mean, yeah, it's hard. It sucks. And it's a chapter. And there's also, I think part of it too, is that like you're forced sort of into this decision, you know, like it's not like you woke up and you're like, I'm done. It's like, no, the world turned to a dumpster fire.
Right. And it's also like, It's like you didn't make the decision. The government made the decision for you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't fail at my business.
No.
It was very successful up until the minute I wasn't allowed to work.
Yeah. And
so it is hard, guys. Feel the feels. It's okay.
Yeah. And it's not the same in a lot of industries. You know, it's like going back to work, even if you do go back to work, like, what were you telling me? Like nobody, like they have to bring their own blanket and.
Right. So, and that's one of the biggest things is that, you know, I've had conversations where people are like, well, am I allowed to touch my clients the way that I could before? Am I allowed to do the job that I was allowed to do before? Can I stack, you know, can I even make money and can I not worry about what I'm doing? You know, I have to worry about if I'm breathing on them and how I touch them and, you know, my intimacy. I can't hug my clients. I can't have this relationship with my clients. All those things are true. You know, all those things are true. My clients are scared to come in. They're stressed. And that's when you should be caring about them the most. And yet you're worried as well, potentially, of like, am I going to get a disease? Am I being safe? You know, and regardless of where you are on that scale of fear or your clients are, all of these things come down to, you know, at one point in time, we couldn't use bedding. We've been allowed to in California, but I know some of the states still can't use bedding. You know, you come in and they're like a rubber mat and they just lie down and, you know, hopefully there was a really funny video going out where like a massage, they were like doing a massage. It was like a rake on somebody and they were throwing balls. Right. And I think everybody saw it, but that's the reality. Like you're like in this huge rubber mask and gloves and, you know, goggles and a sheet. And is this the service that you want to give?
Mm-hmm.
Is this what you want to be doing? Is this the esthetician that you want to be?
Yeah.
And that's okay. If that's what you want to do and that's how you provide service, that's wonderful because we still need you on the front lines, guys. If you can survive this, you are going to be the ones who rise up to the top and are still in business.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to leave, everyone's okay with it.
Yeah.
Everyone's okay.
For sure. I think
and in 2 years,
okay.
we might be okay again. You can go back into business too.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you want to do.
Well, and I think like I can imagine too, because I know I had this when I, you know, like studios I taught at closed. And I was just all right, let me like figure out what the heck I'm doing. And it does feel like you're abandoning your clients. But having arrived to the other side of that, like there's a part of me that feels like they don't really care.
They don't.
You know? And so like as much as like we love them and we feel like we're a huge part of their life, like they've moved on.
Right. Well, and the ones that will stay with you will stay with you. They'll follow you online. They'll follow you. You have your ride and die clients, right?
Yeah.
You have, and I know the ones because like they're the ones who followed me from dermatologists and plastic surgeons, and they're my ride and die, right? And on social, it's easier for them to follow you everywhere, right? It's easier than ever for them to follow you places.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise, you know, you're a part of their life for a short amount of time, and they'll go find somebody else, and they'll be part of their life as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, think about it as like your hairdresser. Do you love them, but then do you think about them the other 6 to 4 months a year?
You just think about firing them all the time. What?
Right. You're just like, oh, so, you know, it's so hard. It's so hard. And we do care about our clients so very much. Mm-hmm. We do. And I've cared about mine very much. It's why I haven't left my business yet. Mm-hmm. But Alex, what happened when you asked me a question the other day and you're like, well, what are you going to do about your clients?
Did I?
You did. You're like, oh, so yeah. When I bought my house, I'm like, hey, I'm in escrow.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
And you asked me, you're like, what are you going to do about your house? I mean, what are you going to do about your clients? And my answer was,
you're like, I'm out.
That's right. Like, I'm out. You just have to make a clean break.
Yeah.
You know, and you can love them, but you have to leave them. You can love your ex, but you have to go.
Gotta leave them. Yeah. But I mean, I do think, I remember, so I was working at a mom and pop yoga studio, and it was like I started there when I was in high school. I was 15. I'd go after soccer practice, and I helped her digitize her database. Of course, nerd here.
Of course you did.
I know, right?
Of course you did.
I took like 2 yoga classes and I was like, this is too hard. And I just like filed away and just kept working at the desk. I never took another yoga class at that point. And when I went to college and I injured my back, I was like, okay, core strength. I think yoga does that. And that's when I really started practicing yoga. And that studio always was like home base. Every time I would go back for breaks while I was in college, like I would work there again. I would clean in exchange for classes or work behind the desk or whatever. And so it was always like a safe place to land, which I imagine like, your clients, they start to feel that way, and like I knew all of the clients by first name and I knew, oh, they always come Tuesday, 6:00. Like there was that camaraderie, even though it wasn't like my business or like my clients. And then I started teaching there and then they were my students and my clients. And then the owner sold. And so that was like the first, like, oh, this is different. Like I wanted it to be the same, but it's not the same. And then the new owners I think it was like 2 years in, they said, well, we're closing. And like within 2 weeks they were closed and like, that was that. And I felt so like, I think betrayed is kind of the word. I went and I rented space and I was like, okay, we're going to do classes here. And the people who I thought were my ride or dies didn't come.
Yeah.
Some of them did, but not all of them. So I really do think like, I know we feel, or you might feel like you're really letting people down by deciding to do something that's right for you for right now. And I just want to be the voice of reason, that they love you and they're going to miss you, but it's not about them. It's about you and like what's best for you and what is going, like if you don't love going to work every day because you have to wear masks and you can't hug and you have to sanitize a whole place every time somebody else comes in, like, is that really worth it anymore?
Right. Or if you have to be working 1 million hours because you can't stack your clients the way you used to, you're not making the income you were, you're barely getting by. All these things count. They all matter. Look at the big picture. Because listen, love my business, love what I do, love pretty much all my clients. It was a huge choice. It was a huge decision. And this is we all have to make choices. You're not alone. There are a bunch of estheticians are out there who are making those same choices. So you're not alone. And it can hurt and you're allowed to have those feelings and know that there are other places for you to go and other things to do. And we've talked about this before. Alex especially has talked about this. You can go online. You can choose to do something completely different. Maybe there's another dream that you've had that it is time to go live it. Right? I mean, many of us, this was our other dream. Like, this is my second career. This is the dream. This is the thing I love. And straight up, Alex, I've talked about Alex that I've been a bit hating my life right now a little bit as I've gone online because it is hard. But remember when you you have to go back to your youth and be like, remember when I was an esthetician, I first started learning how to do this? It was kind of hard too. It was hard. Learning stuff was hard. It was hard.
I also feel like because technology changes so rapidly, like you learn something new every day.
And it's gone.
Literally. I'm trying to think, what was I just... just today. Okay, let me just throw this out there. Every couple weeks, I go in and I create, invoices in my bookkeeping system that match up with the transactions. And I've been having to do it manually because I was like, well, I don't know how to get this system to talk to that system. And I found out today how to automate it. So if you're the type of person who loves when you figure something out, and going online is like that, like when you least expect it, something happens. You're like, yeah. And then nobody else understands why you're so excited. They have no clue what you're freaking talking about other than your business besties. And I'm like, yeah, Zapier, it connected my bookkeeping and my Stripe. And it's like, oh my God, so amazing.
Yes. And my answer was like, Zaps are the best. Zapier is the best. I love it so much. It'll change your life. And she's like, yes. I'm like, oh my God, I love it so much.
You're so right. It was worth the $24.99.
I'm like, I pay it all the money. I'm like, take my money. Just take it.
All the money. Yes.
By the way, if you're not using Zapier and you're out there and you need things to connect things, oh my God,
you need it.
Don't be cheap. Give it all the money. They're worth it. Oh my God, their tech support is really good because I've had some hard questions and they've dealt with it for me.
I'll give you your money back too. But this is not an ad for Zapier.
I know. Hey, but if they ever want to support us, I'm all about that life.
We're all for it. I want to add another perspective too, because I was talking to my cousin who lives in Arkansas. So they have some different rules. They've gone back to like boutique fitness studios.
Mm-hmm.
So she went back to her Pure Barre class. And so I was like, oh, what was that like? Like, tell me about it. Because gyms are still not open here in California. So even if I wanted to go back and teach my group exercise class, I couldn't. And I do want to. I just, similar to you, I don't see a future in which that's possible for what I teach anytime in the near future. And I'm okay with that now. And that's solely because of my online business, but I digress. So my cousin went back to Pure Barre. She said that, the class size was limited to 6 people, where before it was like 20 something. So that was weird. And she had to wear a mask, and they take her temperature at the door. And then once she gets in, she's like, yeah, you could take your mask off once class started. That didn't make sense to either one of us, whatever. But they can't touch you. And so even for the client, she was like, why would I even go in when I could just stay home? I don't have to get in the car. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to be around other people. I don't have to get my temperature checked and all of that stuff, because I'm still not going to be touched at home or in the studio. So why make that extra effort? So I think also to consider, another thing to consider is that your clients and our clients are thinking the same thing, that their level of risk is something to consider, and that they may not want to come back either, because it just doesn't feel safe. I mean, did you tell me you had a client who just changed her mind in the parking lot?
Yeah, no, she was actually she was at the front door. So I'm going to talk about one of the ways that I'm handling clients right now. Okay. So I know we've talked about this in a previous episode, but this is how I'm literally handling clients. So I've sent out an email to clients when they book saying essentially, hey, if at any reason you need to cancel, and the cancellation policy is this: if you need to cancel for any reason, literally, and I say this, if you're standing at my door and you need to cancel, you just call me, let me know you need to cancel. And that is perfectly fine. I want you to be safe. Your safety, my safety is all that matters. If you like to donate money for my time, I appreciate it. This is how I make my living. And I'm falling on hard times too. And that's all it says. Okay. So she calls me up and she's like, hi, I don't think I can make my appointment. And it's like 5 minutes before her appointment. And I'm like, okay, is everything okay? And she's like, I'm literally standing outside front of your door. I can't walk in the building. I'm too afraid. And I'm like, I understand. It's okay. And she's like, I just feel really stupid right now. And I'm like, no, it's okay. Don't feel bad. And she's, I'll pay you. And I'm like, whatever you feel comfortable paying me is fine. Understand that this happens and don't feel bad. You're not the first person, because she's not been the first person. I've had people on my bed now who are like, we're getting ready to do the extractions. The lamp comes over and they're like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And they have to get up. And I just push the lamp back and I walk out of the room.
Yeah.
People have a lot of anxiety. And so when they come into the room, when I first start with them, I ask them a series of questions to make sure that they're doing okay. And one of the questions I ask them is, I ask them the COVID questions with how, have you been around people? Do you have a temperature? Yada, yada, yada. I make that really chill, because everyone's used to answering those questions. Right. Then I start asking them.
You never leave the house. I've never answered those questions.
But then I ask them this, then I start asking them these questions. And it's been interesting, because when I ask them these questions, they think I'm asking them questions to get deeper into if they have COVID, but I'm actually trying to find out how much contact they've had with people. Because I want to know how much anxiety they have around people. So I'll be like, so how often have you been out around people? And they'll be like, oh, well, I just don't get out very often. I'm barely going grocery shopping. Da-da. And so my mind is like, ding, ding, ding. So they're not going out very much.
Right.
They might actually
anxiety.
Yeah, they might actually be afraid. When they're like, oh, I go out once a week to Trader Joe's, I'm fine, whatever, it's cool, right? I'm like, I'm probably not gonna have to stress about them too much, right? Yeah. But if they're like, I'm not going out, and they think that they're like, oh, I'm keeping Sybil safe by telling her that I'm not seeing people, which really I'm like, oh my God, this person's gonna freak out on my bed. Right? And so then I ask them so how often are you going out? When you're in line, if somebody comes close to you, how do you feel? And they're like, they often say, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm just trying to find out how safe you feel if somebody is next to you, because I'm going to be next to you in that room. And I've had people be like, oh. And as soon as they do that, I'm like, we can totally reschedule this. Don't worry about it. Why don't we just, stop this appointment?
And what happens then?
And they're just like, oh, I think I will be okay. And I'm like, are you sure? And just continue to ask those questions.
Right.
Because a lot of times they haven't thought about what this is really going to be like.
Yeah.
They just think, oh, I know how to, it's normal. I know how to do a facial. It's normal.
Right. But they haven't been in close proximity to somebody like that in months.
Right. And so you have to understand that it's not going to be normal. And also the things that you're going to do, make sure you preset them up before they go into that room, everything that's not normal. So like my clients aren't wearing gowns right now. I'm not giving them gowns. I don't have like a blanket on the bed. So what we're doing is I'm giving them the gown to drape over them instead of putting it on. Okay. And I tell them beforehand, this is how it's going to be different, because otherwise what would happen is they'd get in that room and they'd be like, this is different. And I'm creeped out.
Yeah.
Because they already have enough anxiety about like everything's different. I'm wearing a mask and we're wearing a mask. And we've talked a bunch and like what's happening. And I wash my hands and I know how to use the towels. And so anything you can do to prep them for what's different and changed is going to make them feel more comfortable.
Mm-hmm. It's so interesting you say that too, because I just first of all, I'm reading a book called Judgment Detox. Totally recommend if you're into woo. It was too wooey for my brother. But I was walking my dog and I was like, wow, the FedEx parking lot is packed right now. I was like, I guess people are out. Oh, look, people are eating in a restaurant. And then I was like, I'm not ready to eat in a restaurant. So I think, having these, but also I have no problem going to my husband's coworker's backyard for a barbecue because they've already been together for the last 6 weeks.
Right, whatever time. And you've been with him.
Yeah. So I'm like, I mean, basically we've been exposed to one another. I think it is super important and a great way to just continue to ask these questions, go a little bit deeper and just poke and prod a little bit to see where is that line for them? Because if you asked me well, are you worried about getting sick? I'd be like, no, not at all. But I'm not about to go to the restaurant and sit there and drink my margarita and just be out in the open. So I think that's really, really, really as a customer client type person, I think that's a really important thing to start incorporating.
Right. And so I actually have I created a questionnaire about it so that I can ask clients, what the list is. Alex, you would have been so proud. I have the question. It's not, it's what is it? Like one of the note docs from Mac.
Oh my God.
But I started the questionnaire about it because I'm like, this is what needs to happen for when I ask clients so that I have an idea. And I can share this to everyone. If you're interested, ask, I'll share. You have to ask and then I'll put it up. Mm-hmm. So, but I found that it was very helpful because it's definitely one of those things that you don't think about. And I didn't really think about it very much until I was dealing with it in office. And I had somebody freak out on me on the bed and somebody standing outside the door, not wanting to come in. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of anxiety about this, and you're in front of people, how you deal with people, make sure that when they come in, that you have a place for them to sit that's farther away from you, and then slowly deal with getting closer as the time goes on.
I would also add to this, just as someone who has been out in the world, pick a greeting and stick with it and be the initiator of it, because there's nothing more awkward and weird and uncomfortable than do we elbow bump? Do we fist bump? Do we do nothing? And I've had people where I'm I don't want to do anything. And then they're coming in to hug me. And then I have to be no, please don't, So I think that would also give a sense of comfort for the person in your office of just like you're saying, own the situation, know what you're going to do, think about it ahead of time. So there isn't that uneasiness of uncertainty.
That is a really good point. When people are naturally used to hugging me. And so I've had a couple clients, most clients have not, but I've had 2 clients who've tried to hug me on the way out and I'll be like, listen. And so I'll back, I'm like, hey, I'm not, and I literally hey, I'm not hugging you because I care. Just, I would hug you because I care, but we're not going to hug because of COVID. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go like this. Bye.
And but that's the thing, you have that whole spiel ready to go.
Right. And it totally is. It's totally that way. I mean, when they come in, actually, I make sure that when they come in, I'm really far away, but I greet them from very far away and I have my mask on from very far away. Mm-hmm. And on my door, it says, wash your hands before you come in. And then when they come in, they already know to take off their shoes. And so they come in, I'm like, hi, go ahead, take a seat on the chair. We're going to stage you right there because we're going to have a chat. Yeah. And that's where I put them. And I just have them sit right there.
Yeah. I mean, it's just having a protocol.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
I mean, I think most estheticians were used to it because we're used to like having me like, and now come in and let me have you. I have the gown spiel, or maybe you have like, put your bag here spiel, or, all the things that you're used to doing. You just have to now have a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one of the things I did is I sent out an email to people letting them know what this new protocol is so that they're not surprised, though most people don't read. And to let them know that I have a new protocol when I'm in office doing treatments. For essentially, we all know that everything we do is choreographed, and most times we can just do it in the back of our head. It's like when you drive a car, you know where you're going to go home. Mm-hmm. But now we have new protocols. And so I let them know if it looks like I'm not paying attention to you, or it looks like I've lost the train of conversation, it probably because I'm trying to remember what the heck I'm doing.
Right.
With all my new, now I have to pick up a Kleenex here, and I need to remember what bottle has to go over here because it has to get sanitized. And this one needs to make sure that, I don't touch that area now. So there's all these new things that you have to keep in mind. And so I let them know that all those things go through my head, and that to please be, forgiving.
Yeah. Well, I was at Chipotle, my favorite restaurant in the world. And people were just like all super annoyed that their food wasn't ready. And I was just like, can we just give people a little bit of grace? Because everybody is navigating new waters, exactly like you're talking about. We're all just trying to figure it out. And like, don't be such a dick. And so if somebody is, maybe that's a good time to be like, hi, so there's no room on the schedule for you anymore.
That's correct, Alex. That is exactly the term. So there's no room on my schedule for you. Yeah, not even sorry about that. So good luck with that.
I mean, I do have to say this also has been really like the reckoning. There's multiple situations and global events that are happening that allow you to make a swift judgment about people and if you actually want to continue to keep them in your life.
Yeah. And you might be finding that you are losing clients because of things that you are saying. I know that I lost some people because of things that I have said, and you just have to know what your soapbox and where you stand and be firm with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No wishy-washy people out there, guys. Know where you stand.
No. I'll also say, if you hear whining, I'm not torturing anybody in my office. There's just a dog out there.
Yeah. Is it Ella?
It's Ella's. Dang. Dogs are so punctual. It is 6 minutes past her normal dinner time. And she's like, I will not wait another minute. And she knows I'm talking about her now too. She'll figure it out. She will figure it out.
That's okay. We can think about wrapping up. I
want to talk before.
I think we have one more thing to talk about. Yeah.
About what we have been working on together. Yes. And I just want to hear from you, since this is your first foray, or not first foray, but a new foray, a new chapter, if you will, into online marketing and business. Tell me more.
So Alex and I have been doing, it's called Funnel Fuel, I believe is the name of it. It's called Funnel Fuel. We are working on, and if you don't know what funnels are, guys, it's this thing that you do online where you take people from here and you move them down into tighter money-making niches.
It's like a Rube Goldberg for your online business.
Yes, and if you don't know what Rube Goldberg is, that's a whole nother thing. Okay. I was like, that's what you chose, Alex.
Yeah. Did you watch him on TikTok?
You're like 50 years old. That was amazing. So the idea of a funnel is that you start people up here and you're like, I'm gonna send you through this like funnel, and I'm gonna get you down, and I'm gonna make some money on you by giving you awesome things that you want and getting the perfect kind of client.
Yeah, series of steps and emails and things.
Right. And so we're doing one called Funnel Fuel. And I was really excited about it because one thing, it is a person who we've both used before. We met, Alex and I met with her and did business stuff together with her. And
her name is Kate McKibben, by the way.
Kate McKibben. Yes, Kate McKibben. Cool. She's a genius. We love her very much. And the other thing is, I've been telling Alex that one of the things that I like for marketing strategy is the idea of like drug dealers, I always call it for marketing, is like you give them a taste. So we know the sampling, right? Yeah, you give them a taste, and then they're like, but now I want more.
Yeah.
And so this is the idea of this one.
Yeah.
And so it's a fast class. It's what, 5 days? Supposed to be
Oh my
5 days.
God, so fast. Like, oh,
She's like, you can totally do this in 5 days. Yeah, you cannot do this in 5 days.
I wrote an ebook this morning, you guys. So
I'm a noob. I'm a noob. I don't have like any, I've never done one of these before, really. I'm a noob at it. And I'm like, I can't do this in 5 days. This is crazy. Alex is like, she's not a noob. And she's like, I can't do this in 5 days. And I'm like, well, then I don't feel as bad because I was like, I'm up at like 3 o'clock in the morning being like, I'm trying to get my funnel together. No, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing.
I had something that I had already created, and that took me 3 days to repurpose it. So I'm just like, how the hell was I supposed to do this in 5 days and create all this stuff? What are we creating, though?
So I am creating right now, I'm creating a 30-day clear skin guide called Get Clear. 30-day Get Clear Skin Guide toolkit. And it has a like calendar in it, and it has weekly worksheets so that you can like help get your skin clear. And it has a couple of videos that are foundational videos and like how to wash your face, how to use serums properly, SPF usage, like how to pick product for your skin, stuff like that, all together that you can then help get clear in 30 days, which as estheticians, we know, the best way to get clear is just to use your skincare. So that's essentially what we're telling them how to do. For me,
we need to just promise people the world. And then you didn't do it. It's your fault. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. And then so what you do is you give them kind of like all these tools together, and you're like, here's a bunch of tools that you can use to help yourself be amazing in some way for like a low price of, $27 or something.
Yeah.
And then what will then happen after that is then when they go to check out, they're like, oh my God, I could also get this other thing, which is called a add-on bump.
Order
bump.
I didn't know. Here's the thing. I didn't know what that was literally until Monday. So it's okay if you're like, oh my God, it's all this new stuff. But basically the other premise of this as well is to utilize Facebook ads to bring new people into your business and do it in a way where your ads are paying for themselves through your sales.
Yes. Which is very exciting. And if you were like, I don't know what any of that means, cool.
How would you like new customers that you didn't have to pay for?
Right. So that's what Facebook ads are. Facebook's ads. And like, she has like a whole like strategy where she's just like, and you'll need this many people with this many ads and then this much money. And if it doesn't work, then you go back and do this. And it's genius. It's absolutely genius. I'm very excited to be trying it. And Alex and I are both going to be doing it, and we'll come back and let you know how it works out. Because we're pretty pumped about doing it, even though we haven't quite finished it yet. And apparently Alex wrote an ebook this morning, and,
I don't understand how some of those other women in the group are like, I'm done. I'm like, what?
Maybe they had way more things than we had. I don't know.
I guess I also have always thought of like, it's got to be the biggest, best thing ever. And I always love to over deliver. So I didn't have any of these tools, even though somebody had been telling, you've told me to like, I got to have a guide that does this thing. But here, let me also give you mine. Mine is the Mobility Mastery Toolkit. And this toolkit, the big piece of it is a 4-week mobility calendar with exercises to do every day for your hips, your lower back, your feet, your neck, and your shoulders. And then there's a masterclass to help with your stretching, supercharge your stretching. The ebook I wrote is the 3 biggest mobility mistakes that are wasting you time. And then you get videos, like I said, a workday stretch guide, and then master your form, alignment, and foundations with some additional tutorials. So.
Very cool. Very cool. By the way, the masterclass is masterfully decided on. We are geniuses with masterclasses.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just easy. You just talk. I think that's the other thing too is, you want it to be perfect and this and that. And the beauty of a online business, I will say, is you can make tweaks and change it. Nobody's going to know that you changed it. So it's like, it doesn't need to be perfect. Just get it done.
Yes. Cause you're like, well, that video is maybe people are having trouble with that video. Well, I just swapped it out with this one. No All problem. Those people now don't know that there was a crappy one in that spot before.
Yay, it works.
Yay, it's functioning now, hopefully. Yay. Whereas like if you give a bad facial, guys, you're like, well, that worked poorly.
Right.
And maybe the next person will be better and I won't burn their face off.
One can help.
So I'm excited to see how it all turns out. for both of us. We'll keep you all posted because this is the next thing that we're doing. So, you know, guys, we do this so that we can teach you all. This is what we do. So we literally sit around playing with this crap so that we can bring it to you. So that when you're like, man, I want to go online, I want to be able to pivot and make money online, we can be like, dude, we've done that. And we can actually now show you how to do it.
Yeah. And I'm super excited to get this set up because I want to see how it works. People in the group, I didn't share this with you. So I'm posing as Sybil's assistant in the Facebook group.
She totally is.
And people are already getting sales. Like one woman already has 5 sales from the first day her ad was on.
That's amazing to me. I'm so excited about this. I can't believe that she even had I can't believe she even had stuff to go on this. This is incredible.
Well, I know. It's
well, I think also one of the things is that we both mostly have like video type things as well. And like tools are apparently not videos. And so Alex and I both like work in the realm of like video land. Yeah. And so like, we're like, I give people videos and they're like, this is not a video thing.
No. Although I have 3 videos that says, take all the stress and hassle out of mobility with my 3-part Tackle Your Tension masterclass. Woo!
My masterclass also has videos because it's my foundational masterclass has videos. And I'm doing videos of massages. So if you want to learn the awesome massage technique.
You can't see we're voguing and dancing and you really should be watching this on YouTube. So yeah, stay tuned. Big stuff is coming. I'm excited to hear how yours goes because I know it's going to be freaking awesome. Yeah, I mean, exactly like you said, we are testing and doing all this stuff because why not? But also so that we can share with you like what works, what doesn't work, what sucks. Writing an ebook sucks.
How many pages? How many pages for your ebook, by the way?
Well, okay. So here's another thing. I'm going to be real with you guys. And if you buy this product, just know that it was created with love. But at first I was like, this is 3 pages. This is not.
You need 3 to 5 pages to add some pictures. You'll be fine.
Okay. So I'm going to add some pictures. My goal is to get it to 10, but to have like, you know, with each mistake, you know, mistake number 1, that's a full image page with a thing to like really break up the text.
Add some pictures. It shouldn't actually be very long.
I'm fluffing it up, but 3 pages did not feel like enough for me. So
no, that's all you need. Cause this is $27.
I know. Well, I made it real great. Maybe.
See, this is the problem. Alex is very much so like I have to keep being like, Alex, you just don't need that much stuff in it. It's gonna be fine. She's like, I should add. I'm like, just leave it alone, Alex.
Shit. Why did I? Well, whatever. This guy's
gonna have a full course, man. It's not a full course. It's $27.
I know. It took me 30 minutes to write though, so it's fine.
She's amazing like that.
I'm gonna give you a little gem because I've been telling you this too. Focus on the one thing and get so super good at the one thing, the one problem you solve for your people, because then you're like, is this going to help? No, it's not. Let me get back on track. And it makes it so much easier to create all this stuff, to make decisions. Don't get distracted. You might overcreate things, but don't get distracted. And so one transformation to one group of people.
Listen to Alex preach, people. Listen to her preach.
Mic drop.
There you go. Listen to her preach. Listen. It's the way it is. Because listen, that's what needs to happen. So right now I'm clearing up skin because I know how to do it. So we're clearing up skin by fixing really the barrier. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's not nearly as sexy to be like, I'm going to fix your barrier.
Nobody wants to hear that. But I would wager to guess that you, dear listener, have probably gathered some quarantine skills of things that you can do that you couldn't do before. Like, I'm kidding you. Like, I'm not kidding when I say you can monetize that stuff now. You don't have to be, I think, as, you know, just experts in our fields. We feel like, because I have a dear friend, I love her to death. She's like, well, I'm doing this training. I'm like, stop doing trainings and start making products to solve your clients' problems. You don't need a training. You don't need to be an expert. You don't even need to have like a million years of experience. I know this sounds like blasphemous, but like if the medical medium can get the whole world to drink celery juice and he's not even a doctor, you can sell this thing. Okay. You can do it.
It's totally true. One of my favorite ones of these that I saw from one of her other classes was she had a dog walker who just teaches people how to start their dog walk, how to like start dog walking. And I was just like, see, that's something very different. And literally, it was just their dog walker.
Do you know, as a dog owner, like, I mean, we have solved the problem because I watched Cesar Millan, but if someone said, pay me $20 and I will teach you how to walk your dog without pulling, I will pay that.
Right? Just teaches people how to walk a dog.
And
you're
it's
like,
online.
Here's how you walk a dog.
I just need some pictures of you with a bunch of dogs. Okay. Like, I know this is making it sound like you can be totally disingenuous, but like, that's not what I'm saying.
It's not though. You just, as Kate would say, you find a problem and you solve the problem. And you teach people how to solve the problem.
And have integrity, please, for the love of God. But you don't need to have as much experience and expertise as you think you do. And do not let that stop you in your tracks and stop you from progressing forward.
But dear listener, I know you probably have a lot of knowledge and integrity. Yes. Come on now. People are solopreneurs that are listening to us probably have way more than they think that they do. They probably could teach so many things.
Yeah.
So
$27 for the perfect chocolate chip cookie. I'm about to put that guide together. Just wait.
Oh my God. You could teach how to make sprinkle cake. I would take that course in a heartbeat.
$27?
$27 how to make sprinkle cake.
I want cake now.
I know, me too.
Right. So don't tell us about your cake, but we do want to know if you want the script from Sybil, send her a DM on Instagram at Your Skin Fitness Expert, or you could do at Skinfessional.
Or Skinfessional, either one. I stopped them both.
If you message me, I'm sorry, I don't have it. I can't help you. But if you want to learn more about Mobility Mastery Toolkit or tell me that I'm too mean, you can hit me up at Holla for Mala on the Grammygram.
I also want you just to start telling Alex she's so mean, because we all know she's so mean. She's the mean one of the group. You know it.
I spoke too deeply to my truth, and now I feel uncomfortable and vulnerable.
She's like, I'm so mean. Yeah, not even a little bit. But we also have a box. You can always call us on it. Mm-hmm. In fact, I got some weird calls this week of people who weren't our people. I think I got some weird crank boxes calls. Maybe they heard that I had a box. Anyways.
Voicemails?
They're like, yeah, no, I really did. I just had some weird, they're like, hi, I'm looking for the place where you confess stuff. And I was like, okay. And seriously, it was some I had two rando dudes call about confessing. So,
thank you, random dude listener. We're here for it. Call us again. What's the number?
The number is 818-473-5277. Give us a call and give us random confessions. I mean, if you want to be like, hey, I also like my box. So I'm happy to hear about it.
Also, I will add, if you are enjoying listening to this, if you're enjoying watching it, definitely leave the reviews, 5 stars, thumbs up, all of the things on all of the platforms. Let that artificial intelligence algorithm know.
Yes, subscribe. People also subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe. Please subscribe. And tell your friends. Share us with the masses.
Please.
Okay?
Please.
I beg you, please. We went on an orgy. We went on an orgy of people.
Whoa. Wait, what?
I went an orgy of people with Skinfessional.
She's calling you already.
That's true. Oh my gosh! And I put up a new header, a new logo that we are all dark and mysterious. So you can let me know what you think of all that. Okay. So until next week.
He's trying to get that out of you. Keep your secrets to yourself.
Unless you're telling us.
Okay, bye.
Bye.